Let's go live. Hey. Welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, guys. Let me know if you can hear me loud and clear in our live chat. We're live on the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. We're live on the Kempire and Kempire Daily on Facebook. We're live on Twitch and Twitter. We're live backstage on TikTok. Thank you to everyone sending in gifts and the roses. I appreciate you, TikTok fam. We watched The Real Housewives of... I'm about to say Beverly Hills. No, The Real Housewives of New Jersey last night together on our TikTok for our TikTok watch party. And we had a lot of thoughts. So if you're not following us on TikTok, you're missing out on separate content. This is why I always encourage you to follow me every place, including on Twitter, because I shared some of my additional thoughts on The Real Housewives of New Jersey on Twitter earlier today. Everything is at TheKempire, at Kempire Daily, or at Kempire Radio. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast. I have a few great conversations that I want to have coming up there as well. And as always, don't forget to rate and review. And if you haven't already, be sure to like this video. Liking the video is an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but your channel and other channels so they start showing up on your algorithm. Small channels, big channels, channels that you never heard of. All right? Shout out to everyone in the building. Guys, as always, let me know where you're watching from. We're going to get into a countdown, and then we're going to get into the Real Housewives of New Jersey recap. We're only on episode 3, but I have plenty of thoughts. And am I finally over the Gorgas? Or am I finally over this battle between the Gorgas and Teresa? Let's start.
Baby, baby, won't you listen to me? I got that flavor. I know you're dying to feed. I ain't no dancer, just got some hip in my feet. Now throw your hands up. Ooh, you bring the lighter, I got the fuse. You make a fire, I'll add the fuel. Follow my lead, yeah. Just watch your shoes. Gotta turn the heat up to get this cool.
Oh, not the twerk. Wait, no, that's not the one I wanted to post up. Hold on, y'all. This is what I wanted to post up. OMG. It's the fighting between... Look, this battle between Joe and Louie, it doesn't hit the same. When we think about the fights that the two Joes had, this fight did not hit the same. No. But we will get there, guys. Welcome back to my channel, the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. And we are live on the Kempire and Kempire Daily on Facebook. We're live on Twitch and Twitter at The Kempire. And we're live backstage on TikTok at The Kempire as well. Let's get into this. Shout out to all of you watching from around the country, around the Caribbean, Canada, those of you watching in Europe, Africa. I appreciate in Australia, New Zealand. I appreciate you guys watching. If you missed it though, yesterday we had some really great information. And I have some more stories, one related to the Real Housewives of Potomac coming up after this live. So look, we are going to take callers, but understand I have more work to do. It's been a busy morning. All right. It's been a busy morning, but as always, we are recapping the Real Housewives of New Jersey. If you had to rate this episode from 1 to 10, I want to know how you would rate it. Honestly, if I had to rate this episode, it was okay. It was okay. It kept me engaged, but it's the same drama. And even with different families, it's the same drama. So we're going to unpack this. But if I had to rate this episode, I probably would give it a 7. A 7, because there was nothing new here. And one of the things that I posted on my Twitter earlier today, I said, I want to get away from using the word storyline, because I don't think we mean storyline. I think, because I know a lot of people get all frustrated. You guys are always saying you need a storyline. Andy Cohen's like, oh, I don't know where this whole idea of a storyline came from. It's not storyline. And I said this before, and I'm going to say it again. Not 3 and 5. Wait, no, that was a 0.3. Damn. We got to get away from the word storyline. That's not what we're saying, because I don't believe anyone needs to have a storyline. Even if we already know Melissa Gorga has not had a storyline in ages. But if she was an interesting reality TV star, if she was just a funny person, look at Jen Fessler, who's new on New Jersey. We don't know anything about her, but we like her. At least I do. I thought she was actually pretty interesting. So I don't think we mean someone needs a storyline. We need someone to be entertaining and interesting. So when we say, oh, they don't have a storyline, no, what we're saying is that they're boring. Hey, Dolores. Dolores, I love you, but it's not hitting. It's not hitting, but we've been saying this about you. The only reason why I keep you around is because it's Black History Month. No. The only reason why we keep you around is because we know you have known the cast of characters for years, and you seem like a fun person and a very like a girl's girl. But I'm not believing the Paulie situation anymore. You guys got you got into my brain. Something with that Paulie situation ain't right. Something ain't right. We will revisit. But at the top of this episode, this is only the third episode. Sidebar, did you guys see the Deadline article? Now all of a sudden Bravo wants to come out with delayed ratings. Oh, this is a 3-day delayed rating, and the ratings for season 13 for New Jersey and Vanderpump Rules are far better than last season, because you remember the live ratings for last season were a lot higher than the ratings for this particular these last couple of episodes. I thought that was interesting. What I found more interesting was everyone in the comments. Well, you guys are doing this for New Jersey and Vanderpump. Are you going to do that for RHOP and their delayed ratings? Fair question. Fair question. But at the top of this episode is called Boys Will Be Boys, because as you know, it's all about what happens at the end of this episode with the guys' night out. But at the top of this episode is a continuation of the battle between Melissa Gorga and Teresa Giudice. Well, Teresa, did she change her last name? Do we know? She probably didn't change her last name. She's very traditional in that regard. You know, her kid's name is Giudice. So did she change her last name? Did she change? Someone check her Instagram. Did she change her last name, or is she keeping Giudice because, you know, her children? I know a lot of people do. They keep it for their children. Okay. So Teresa and Melissa get into this battle. And yes, guys, I know that there's so much more information that they are leaking to the blogs and they're talking about on their podcast. But during our recaps, let's focus on what's happening on the show, because I'm tired of their receipts. I'm honestly on both sides. I'm tired of their receipts. Yesterday, if you were here for our Tuesday takeover, and I'm not going to address it here because I'm going to focus on the episode. We talked yesterday about Joe Gorga and Joe Giudice meeting in the Bahamas, and Gia calling out Joe Gorga for his performative behavior on social media. We're not going to talk about that. We'll talk about Gia and what happened in this episode. Okay. Let's focus at the top of this. So Melissa and Teresa get into this fight about the engagement party and the seating and all of that. Luckily, they move on very quickly. And then Teresa's like, do you want to be in the wedding? Do you want to be in the wedding? And Melissa's like, really? No, at this point, no. Why would I want to be in the wedding? Because now it feels like you feel bad. You know, and you just want to add me to the wedding. She's like, no, it's okay. But here's the thing that I think a lot of people miss in regards to this, because I really don't believe that Melissa and Joe Gorga, I don't believe that they did not support Teresa and her relationship with Louie, because that is the justification for Teresa right now in regards to how she feels about Melissa and Joe. She feels like, oh, you didn't support me when Margaret was talking about Louie. Stick with the family. That's her justification for the battle that they're having now. Wait. Justin said I would have said yes because I'm petty. You know what? At least you're honest. But I'm with Melissa. I wouldn't have said yes after, in front of all these people. You want to invite me to the wedding now? But come to find out, she didn't even have the sister-in-laws in the wedding, right? She didn't even have the sister-in-laws in the wedding. She just had her daughters. So all of this fighting for no reason. All of this fighting for no reason. So after they hug it out. Mind you, I think they want to wring each other's necks when they hug each other because we know this is not the end of their battle. But I'm going to say this, like I said this last night on TikTok. Teresa has a pattern, and I'm so shocked. And I get it. You guys, you can be team whoever you want to be team because you know over here, who am I team? Kempire. All day, every day. Except I'm team Heard this week. I'm going to be team, hold on, let me bring her up. I'm team Gabriella this week. Oh, I didn't mean to press that one. This one. I'm team Heard this week, but I'm team Kempire all day, every day, every other day of the week. So people forget that Teresa, forget about the Gorgas. Let's talk about Teresa's pattern over the last 13 seasons. Teresa uses people until she doesn't need them anymore. The most recent time that we saw this was with Danielle Staub. She used Danielle Staub because Danielle was desperate to be on this show, brought her on to be her henchman or henchwoman, hench person. And then when she didn't need her anymore, she was like, Kim D, recently on the Behind the Velvet Rope, literally said the same thing. Teresa brought her on the show when she didn't need her anymore because she wanted to be good with the family and got rid of her. Can we go a little further back? Yeah, we can. She has a pattern. So Teresa's not sitting here innocent. Oh, exactly. Niecy said now she's using Jennifer Aiden. But the Gorgas are not innocent either. Look, the Gorgas are not innocent either. But we will revisit. So they make peace at this mozzarella party. Okay, they make peace at this mozzarella party. All right. Then we get Dolores and Paul. Oh God, where's my picture of Dolores and Paulie? This is the real Paulie, not the one that Dolores likes to post up on Instagram. So they're doing a separate photo shoot for Frank because he wasn't able to make the other photo shoot for the calendar. Okay. Do I have Frank's picture? Damn it, I don't have Frank's picture here? Damn it. Because it's a terrible picture. Look, it's a terrible picture of Frank. But you know what? I like Frank more than Paulie. There's something about Paulie and this over macho-ness that he wants to exude, and him saying that Frank should have came to him to explain the family dynamics and things like that. And Frank is like, I don't even have your number. He's like, Dolores could have did that. He's like, you don't send a woman to do a man's job. Mother, if you don't get out of here with this stupidness, I'm like, you're giving performative vibes. You're giving, I was paid to be her boyfriend this season. I didn't believe it before, but the vibes that I'm getting, I mean, she went from Dr. What's his face? It doesn't matter at this point. She went from that energy when we already knew she wanted another Frank. That's what she wants. That's her type. And I kind of get that vibe from Paulie, but Paulie, come on. You're not likable at all so far because I don't like how you're coming at Frank. I get it. There should be boundaries now. Not every guy is going to be like Dr. Dave. Not everyone's going to be like that. However, something about Paulie ain't fitting right with my spirit. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Dr. David. It's unimportant at this point. He's gone. But thank you. Something about Paulie's not fitting right with my spirit. And you saw when Frank was talking about, I'm going to get the guys together. Now that I'm better, I'm going to get the guys together. I'm going to invite you. And he was just sort of like, and in my head, what I'm thinking, because you all got into my head, I'm thinking, she's not paying him. She's not paying him for extracurricular activities with the other guys. Dolores, I kid. I love you, Dolores. I love you. But there's something about Paulie that just ain't right. Just not sitting with me. But not the same ain't right that I feel with this guy. With Louie, there's something ain't right, but it's more sinister. Paulie, I don't know what it is. See, makeup says something. Yep, something's off. Not the same as Louie. Something's different. But I got my eye on you because at the end of the day, no matter how we feel about Dolores being on the show and her lack of a storyline, I want Dolores to be happy. I think Dolores is actually a good person. So I want this relationship to work out. And I'm not one of those people that wants Dolores to be back with Frank. No, because he's trash. But he's funny. Oh, wait, he was trash. I don't know if he's still trash. Okay? Oh, JJ says, you know what? JJ says, Paulie's the kind of man Dolores asked for. Maybe he's just not your type, Kempire. Yeah, he's definitely not my type. Definitely not my type. I don't have a type, though. But if I had a type, he wouldn't be it. just saying. So we had that scene with Paulie and Frank, and they seem to have this sort of like back and forth, sort of like, you know, taking digs at each other. But it seems like as if those digs might be serious, or maybe they're playing this to be serious. So that's Dolores' storyline. The two men in her life, they're battling. I don't think Frank necessarily wants to be with Dolores anymore. I think he loves Dolores, but I don't think he wants to be with Dolores anymore. Just saying. Okay, let's move on. So Jackie, Margaret, and Melissa go out to lunch, and we get a brief update on Jackie and her eating disorder, which I'm glad that they gave us, but I kind of wish they would have talked more about it. I felt like it was too brushed over, and I know she's just a friend of, but we, as a community that watched and reviewed the show last season, were very invested and were praying for Jackie and her recovery. And we said, these group of girls are probably not the girls that she should be around when she's in this process. Part of the reason why, her explanation for why she did not come back full time. But I don't think that was her decision. Because as you can see from her behavior, she's very upset at the other ladies. Okay? So it goes from getting an update. Sidebar, Melissa, Margaret, I know you watch. Hey, girls. Do me a favor. When someone has an eating disorder, I know you mean well by saying, oh, you look great, you look healthy. Let's make it less about how she looks and more about how she feels and where her head is at. I get it. They're trying to be supportive of her, and I do believe that they're good friends to her. But I want to make it less about how she looks because that's at the root of her eating disorder. It's all mental. So it shouldn't be based off of how you guys feel on how she looks. How are you feeling? Do you feel like you're in a good space? But it goes briefly from the conversation about that, which I kind of wish it didn't. And who knows with editing? It could have been a longer conversation and they edited it down. And we go into the whole Jackie not being invited to Danielle's mozzarella party. So Jackie always, Jackie's smarter than all of these women, okay? She's smarter than all these women. She has a way of just being very shady. And she talks about Danielle, and she said, yeah, I was looking her up and down because I was like, the shorts that she had on, it was very like, whatchamacallit? Let me take a sip, y'all. She had she said she looked like she had just pulled it out of the laundry. Jackie, I don't like this look on you. This jealous, thirsty, mean girl behavior. I don't like that because one thing I do enjoy about Danielle, she's not afraid to be thirsty. She's not afraid to be like, oh, I don't have this. Oh, I want this. Like she doesn't seem so aware of the camera, which I can appreciate about her being a newbie. Like she's not afraid to be like, I want what Melissa has. Oh my God, my entire house can fit inside this. I like that genuineness about Danielle so far. So I feel like that's where they could connect, because I do feel like there's a genuineness about Jackie that a lot of people liked. So we also know the larger story of what's happening on these shows is about the show, and it's not really about what's happening on the show. So we already know the reason why she doesn't like Danielle is because Danielle's like her replacement. Oh, woo, woo, woo. Woo, woo, woo. So I didn't love that look on you, Jackie. I appreciated the shade, though. Even though I like Danielle, I appreciated the shade. Danielle's fashion, but New Jersey's fashion in general is not the greatest. Let's be honest. So, Jackie, I didn't love that for you. But Melissa, because Melissa has nothing else going on in her life, decides to carry that bone when she hangs out with Danielle later. You notice that? That's also when we find out that Danielle has her own family drama that's weirdly similar to what's happening between Melissa and, Teresa. But I agree with Melissa. There's a theme throughout this episode, guys. I don't think you even noticed this theme that's happening. So let me point it out to you. There's a theme happening with a bunch of these different, people on this Real Housewives of New Jersey cast. And that's they all believe like the sister-in-law or the brother-in-law should dictate what that family member should be doing. So like Danielle's situation, which Danielle, you're not telling us the full story. First, it went from you doing all this crazy behavior on social media and your brother was making fun of you and you blocking him, to you didn't like the sister-in-law. You were trying to get very much involved in their wedding, and then it caused an issue, and then he disinvited you and your mom and people from the wedding. The only person that speaks to the brother right now is the father. And the father broke down in that scene talking about, I want my family together. They haven't talked in 2 years. But Danielle, very much like Teresa, and now we're getting Joe. The thing is, they don't realize how hypocritical they sound. Because Joe is now thinking that Louie should step in and is like, no, you should tell her that she should invite the family. That's the same as what Teresa was saying. Melissa should make you talk to us and you should be a part of it. It's all the same thing. And that's the same thing that Danielle says to her brother. And what she's been saying about her brother is that, her sister-in-law should tell him that she should speak to his family. No, these are grown adults. Stop putting it on the person that's outside the family to step in and do something. Honestly, I really wish Louie would step out this season. Why are you so involved? No, this is where it gets hairy. This is where I think you should support your partner from afar. Separate yourself from the situation. I don't hold Melissa responsible. I don't hold Teresa responsible. No, I don't hold Louie responsible. Those individuals that are directly related should be the responsible ones, in my belief. I've seen this in my own family. And I literally have to correct my sister. And I'm like, that's not up to my brother's, wife. That's up to my brother. Oh, let me not tell my business. But I literally had this similar situation. So these things really do happen in real life. And I notice it's a lot with the sisters, right? But we see Joe Gorga. Bitch boy Joe Gorga. No, I'm joking. I'm joking, Joe. I'm joking. But he's doing the same thing that he doesn't want. He doesn't want Teresa to do to Melissa. He's doing the same thing. We will get to Joe in a second. I'm jumping all around, guys. If you're just joining us, we're talking about the 3rd episode of The Real Housewives of New Jersey. If you haven't already, be sure to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but your channel and other channels as well. Shout out to our King's Guards, aka our moderators in the chat. Shout out to the members of the channel. If you would like to become a member of the channel, head on over to TheKempire.com/join. And thank you to my mods on TikTok. Yes, I want to see how you guys will vote in this poll. Okay, there we go. All right, let me go back. Rachel Fuda. I like Rachel Fuda. I like her. I like the newbies. I like the newbies so far. So Rachel is the brunette. Okay. So we get this cute scene with Rachel and her husband for her 2-year-old's photo shoot for her birthday. Then they do a lot of photo shoots. That's very Italian. Look, like I said, I grew up in New York City. I've seen all of this. So none of this is a shock to me. It's actually very homey. I'm like, oh, this is what they do, which I love. So this is when she opens up, though, about the miscarriage that she had. So her 2 babies she had via IVF. But this all comes up because she says to her husband, let's have another baby. And apparently she has like 6 embryos waiting to go, 5 or 6 embryos ready to go. But remember, she just had a baby 3 months ago. So here's the thing. Another thing that I had a thought. This is why I'm glad I kind of do the recap and I rewatched the show a second time around. Not only financially is Rachel's husband responsible for providing for the family, so bringing on another child, we just had one, and emotionally responsible because they have 3 kids that they're raising. But we also have to think about the loss that they both suffered. During this photo shoot, she ends up crying. But people also forget that fathers, along with the miscarriage, go through their own loss as well. And we never thought about that part. At least I'm not sure if the audience thought about that part. Not only is he thinking about, well, we just had a baby or the financial responsibility, but when you're getting emotional and talking about the miscarriage, husbands and fathers go through that with you. So let's not forget about the fathers either. Okay, let me see. Ikoko or Yoko. I don't know these people, and neither do you. So there's no hate for these people, okay? But welcome to the party. We appreciate you watching. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And if you just joined us, understand, I'm not Team Teresa. I'm not Team Melissa. I'm Team Kempire. You should be Team you. Whoa, whoa, whoa. But welcome. Okay, y'all. And we have what? How many people in the booth? We have almost 1,000 people watching on YouTube and Facebook and Twitch and things like that. So when I see a random comment, trust and believe, like I'm going to respond. All right. But shout out to everyone showing love and having grown conversation in the chat. All right. We appreciate it. Let me say thank you because we have quite a few super chats. Thank you guys so much for the super chats, the Cash Apps, the Venmos, the PayPals. That they help support content creators like myself continue to recap shows and cover pop culture news like we do here on the channel. Don't forget, we don't just talk about the Housewives here. I know some of you like, oh, that's the Housewives guy. We cover everything in pop culture. So be sure to check out some of the news that we reported on yesterday, this week, in regards to pop culture. We had our Tuesday takeover. Also, I had that story that we've pinned in the live chat on YouTube about Dubai Bling. Check that out. That was interesting to find out how much they made for their first season. Rochelle, thank you so much for the super chat. Rochelle, I haven't seen you in a while. Or maybe a while is just a week. I don't know. Danielle reminds me of Tree 2.0. And their stories are very similar. WR, thank you so much for the super chat. Love you, Kempire. Catch you on the replay. Thank you so much, WR. We appreciate you. Okay. Miss Mocha, thank you so much for the super chat. She says the Real Housewives are fake storylines. Mocha. BM Rance, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, me and my husband made a pact. I deal with my family, you deal with yours. We have family events, both sides are invited. Are we close? No. Okay. But that's grown. That's a grown person handling things in a grown way. What we've seen of both sides on this show are people that are highly immature. JJ, thank you so much for the super chat. JJ says, don't forget during the lunch with Melissa and Jackie, Marge again is trying. Oh, thank you so much, JJ. This is such an important detail. I did not want to miss this because my second time around listening to them, I wanted to make not an analogy, a comparison. The conversation that Margaret and Melissa get into about Jennifer Aiden's state of mind and that she must not be happy at home. Didn't it remind you of Potomac? Anyone else, in the toxicity of what they were doing in Potomac? So that's what it reminded me of. And I was look, I don't love Jennifer Aiden all the time. I think she's a great housewife sometimes. But the whole conversation about she's just not, she's something must be going on with the marriage. Something must be going on with the marriage. She doesn't seem happy. And I was just like, what? How do we get here? But however, Jennifer, something is going on with the marriage. I don't like the way that you're talking about talking to Dr. Bill this season. It was kind of weird. And I know last season, that's, we saw it from the reunion. I don't know if this is, pent up aggression from the cheatation situation that happened 10 years ago, unless something happened recently and you don't want to stay. It's interesting how she talks to him. And let's keep in mind, if Dr. Bill Aiden talked to Jennifer Aiden the way that she's been talking to him this season, you all would hate him. You would want him off the show. Let's be honest. Let's always kind of spin it around. If Dr. Bill spoke to Jennifer Aiden the way that she's been speaking to him this season, you all would be like, and Dr. Bill twerking on a fence was not lost on me. You better twerk. Uh-oh. How come I'm frozen? Hold on. I don't know what happened with that camera. Let me just make sure I'm good. I froze on my computer. Hold on, y'all. That was weird. Let me see something. Hold on, y'all. Okay. Hold on. Let me switch back to this other camera. There we go. We're going to use this camera for now because I don't know what happened with the other camera. I don't know what happened. Yeah, I had to switch cameras. Switch cameras. I might switch to this other camera. Hold on, y'all. Let me switch to this other camera. Hold on, because it's a live show. Every once in a while, things happen. So you gotta switch. And you gotta pivot. Look, you gotta pivot. Let me see if I can do that. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. Oh, maybe that's not gonna work. All right, so let me go back here, y'all. All right, we will just use this camera for now. Look, it's a live show. It is what it is. At least you guys can still hear me, right? Someone sent me something. No, it's technology. It is what it is. All right. Hold on. Let me just save this. All right. Let me say thank you, Megan. Thank you, Megan, for the super chat. Megan says, Kempire is giving his opinion. Hold on. Kempire is giving his opinion. I don't like Margaret or Melissa or Jackie, but we can respect his opinion because this is fun. Exactly, Megan. You get it. Our community gets it. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. We're going to move on. All right. And excuse the lighting, y'all. Excuse the lighting. And the angle. Look, and the angle. All right. Let me get back to this. Yes, and we can hear you. Perfect. That's all that matters. So let's move on. All right, so we talked about Rachel. All right, this scene with Teresa and Louie and my girl Gabriella. All right, Gabriella. She doesn't say a lot, but when she speaks, it's necessary. And I love the fact that she literally said that she wanted to have context on what Melissa said. And nobody asked for this. Look, nobody asked for this. We did not want another. Did they not get the memo? We did not want another scene or confessional from Gia. Please. We did not want another confessional from Gia. No. And look, I know Gia chimed in this week and she had a lot of opinions and blah, 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 blah. No, I did not want to hear. I didn't need anything from Gia this week. There's something about Gia's personality. It's very much like her father. That must be it. That must be it. We didn't ask for Gia in this confessional. I also didn't love to see Louie. I didn't love seeing Louie get riled up and riling up the troops. I do believe Louie is trying to alienate Teresa from the rest of her family. No. Look, no. They did say, though, that the Gorgas, because they were talking about the podcast that they did, and Melissa and Joe basically said that, if they weren't around, they wouldn't be able to make money because of, when Teresa was in camp. Look, when she was in camp. Okay, good point, JJ says, if we're allowed to comment as strangers. Hold on. Woo. I lost it. Now we're allowed to comment as strangers. She has every right to talk about it, what's going on in her family. No, she does. But we didn't ask for confessionals. We didn't ask for confessionals from Gia. She's one of the, because here's the thing. Now you have a confessional. Now we can talk about the children, right? Now we can talk about the children. Nobody asked for that. Nobody asked for that. So we got that. But again, Gabriella for me is the only one that really wants to know the full story before she voices her opinion, and she chooses when she wants to speak. And she's very different than the rest of the other sisters. But this conversation, just when this immediately happens after they make peace. They made peace at the Mutz party. Where we thought they made peace, but apparently they did not make peace. So they're talking about this. Gia's not happy about what was said. Basically, the sister says the sisters confirmed that Joe and Melissa were only around when the cameras were rolling. So they weren't around when. I don't know if I believe that 100%. I don't know if I necessarily believe Joe and Melissa, but they were only around when the camera's around. That's pretty damning. I need them to clear that up. I need them to address that. All right. Casey says, Gabriella has always been my favorite of Teresa's daughters. Probably because she rarely says anything. And when she does, at least this season, and we heard word on the street that she was going to be speaking up a little bit more this season. Lucy says, agree, Kempire. If Gia has confessional, then all bets are off. And I wish Teresa luck with that. I wish her luck with that. All right. Moving on. So we get that conversation with Teresa, Louie, and her daughters. And Louie, at the end of that conversation, it seems so riled up. Anyone that was a little uncomfortable how riled up he was getting, especially in front of the kids? Like, you're chiming in a little too much. I thought you were the peacemaker here. And every time he speaks on the Gorgas, look, there's a lot of true things that we can say about the Gorgas, but there's also a lot that I'm just sort of like, Louie, you're saying a little too much. You are instigating a little too much here. You're putting a little too much gasoline on the already fire that is this family. Like, you're Johnny come lately. As Joe said, you only been around for a hot second to have all these big opinions. But I believe Teresa and the producer may have told him, because he was so quiet last season, to speak up this season. No, speak up on your own stuff. Don't speak up on what's going on with this family, because it's so volatile. And you really should just play your position. Like, you know what? I'm going to support you, Teresa. I believe everything that you're saying, but I'm not going to get in a back and forth with your brother. Because that never works. And it's not working. It's making the situation worse. Some of your comments are hilarious, guys. All right. Let me move on from that, because I need Louie to be a little bit quieter this season. Just a little bit quieter this season, Louie. We also get that scene with Melissa and Danielle. And again, this is why I think a lot of people are gravitating towards Danielle, because she is just so, I think herself, because she goes shopping because, she's starting her own brand and things like that. So she wanted to learn more from Melissa. She's like, I like what Melissa has done with Envy. But if she only knew the truth about Envy and Melissa's brand, That is as real as that before and after photo that Joe posted on his Instagram and then deleted because he got exposed. Just saying. Justice said he's just going to get darker and louder. We know what that means. Everyone comments on the overly tannedness of this cast. Very Jersey. I didn't realize people were still tanning like that. Jersey folks, y'all still got the tanning salons? I feel like all the tanning salons closed. Jersey Licious vibes. Exactly. So this is where we find out about Danielle's family issues. And this is why I'm sort of like, I don't really understand what exactly happened between Danielle and her brother. And again, we're only getting Danielle's side of things. Oh, someone said spray tans. Ew. Look, ew. I don't know if we will really get to the bottom of things, especially because the brother is not on the show. I would like to hear the brother's side of things. The father is speaking to the brother, but she's not. And the mom is not. We're learning a little bit more about Danielle. So far, how are you guys feeling about the newbies? I saw some of you don't like Rachel. I like Rachel. I feel like she's already getting activated in everything that's going on. Danielle is a very different personality. We don't need too many people with big personalities. I like Danielle and her personality. I don't know if I like the reoccurrence of family drama that's very similar to the Gorgas, because to be honest with you, we're over the Gorgas family drama, but if you have similar family drama, we don't want to see that either. Can you come with come with something new? Something new, something different. Just saying. But I guess we'll get to the bottom of what exactly is the issue. I don't know. Okay. Then we had that other scene with Jennifer and Dr. Bill, and she was talking about how they are, raise the children very differently. Honestly, anyone else agree with the way that Dr. Bill wants to raise the kids? And every time I look at Jen's house, and I always have to remind myself that Jen has 5 kids running around that house, so it's hard to keep a house looking pristine during filming, so I can appreciate the reality that she's giving us here. However, every time I look around the house, I'm just like, oh my God. I'm like, what's happening here? But I actually agree more with Dr. Bill's way of raising the kids. Do you all soak every single dish? I understand certain dishes, certain pots and things that you should soak. But are you soaking every dish and putting it to the side before you finish rinsing it off? But the thing that stood out to me the most in their scene was their conversation. Of course, they're still talking about the whole Dolores situation and what's going on with Dolores and blah, blah, and what the groups are saying. And she wants Dr. Bill to be her yes man. He's like, well, I can see he was twerking on a fence. And I appreciate it. And I was team Dr. Bill in that instance. I just don't like how she's talking to him lately. It's sort of like weird. It's weird. And it's kind of reminding me of her mom. Remember her mom? Where's her dad? Where's her dad? Can someone tell me where the dad is? I want to know. Look, I want to know. Where is the dad? The dad was living with them. We saw the mom earlier in the season. Where is the dad? All right. Norma, thank you so much for the super chat. Norma says, don't watch Here Because I Love You. Oh, you don't watch New Jersey, Norma? I'm actually surprised. Is it worth watching? Oh, I don't know if it's worth watching. That's a really great question. What do you guys think? Let Norma know in the chat if New Jersey's worth getting into. The early years of New Jersey was good. I don't know if I would recommend people getting into the Real Housewives of New Jersey right now. I don't know. But back to where exactly is Jennifer Aiden's dad? Is he in Turkey? No, someone says her dad ran back to Turkey. I want an update. Do we know? Salt Phone says Jen has never heard of a water shortage. Julia says I stopped watching and still don't watch. Not worth it to me. But Julia's here supporting us. I appreciate that. It's not. Oh, damn. All right. You guys, Replay crew, as always, be sure to like the video. Be sure to let us know your thoughts on the latest episode of The Real Housewives of New Jersey and answer Norma's question. I'm sure she'll go back and look and see what you guys say, if it's worth her getting into. Oh, Naraya, thank you so much. She says, I actually don't know. I started watching because of Kempire. Thank you. Thank you. Guys, if you haven't already, we have well over 1,200 people here for our Real Housewives of New Jersey recap. I apologize for the technical difficulties, but we're moving forward with the show. At least we had another. Thank God I have more than one camera because a couple of the cameras were not working. But it happens every once in a while. If you've been around since the beginning, you know, every once in a blue, knock on wood, we have a little bit of a technical something. But we figure it out, we work through it, and we press on. We press on. That's what happens when you have a live show. All right. So we're going to move on. We're going to move on. All right. So Melissa and her family go down to the shore. We're already at the shore, y'all. Can you believe it? Melissa and her family are down at the shore. And of course, I know what the Team Teresa people are going to say, but I'm going to say it too. Every scene with the Gorgas ends up being about about Teresa. But here I disagree with the Gorgas. Why does Teresa have to invite the Melissa's family to her wedding? Here's the thing. According to Melissa, the first people Louie was introduced to in regards to the family was Melissa's family. Okay, so there's a relationship, but you have to be able to choose your battles. Choose your battles. This is not worth it. This is her wedding. If she doesn't want to invite Melissa's family, fine. She barely wanted Melissa at the wedding. She barely wanted Melissa in the wedding. But I get it. In certain cultures, Italian cultures, that's a big, like, you know. But come on. Come on. Choose your battles. It's not worth the battle. It's not worth the battle at all. So this is where you keep losing people, Melissa and Joe. The fact that you made this such a big issue and a story this week, people are looking at you like you're ridiculous. Why does she have to invite Melissa's family? Oh, because that's what you guys do? No, you already have a toxic relationship with your sister. This is not a battle that's worth fighting. This is not a battle worth fighting. And my thing is, and no one's saying that you need to be besties with your sister, but if you want to do it for the family, then okay. Do it for the family. Be amicable so that, you know, the kids and the cousins. I believe the cousins don't get along. I really do. Anyone else? I don't believe the cousins are hanging out. I don't believe the cousins really communicate, because I know Teresa did a recent interview, and I think it was on Watch What Happens Live, and he was talking about the cousins. She's like, oh yeah, the cousins, they all drive. They can communicate. I was already knew. I was like, they're not communicating. The cousins aren't hanging out. They are separated because at the end of the day, they're taking the lead from their parents. The same way Joe and Teresa are taking the lead from their parents. Remember, their father didn't talk to his sister. I wonder if they made peace at the end of his life. Anyone know? That's a great question. Andy, I know you're watching. Hey. Do we know? That's a great question to ask Teresa. Did your father and his sister make peace before he passed on? Just asking. Just asking. And look, I know a lot of people that watch this show want Joe and Teresa. They're your only family members. Look, here's my rule on family, and everyone does not agree with me because everyone is like family, family, family. Family, family, family. Just like any relationship that's toxic and that's not working, stop forcing it, because it will end up blowing up in your face. Stop forcing it. And that's exactly, remember when we were recapping the reunion and I said, you know what? Finally, Melissa and Joe get it. This is not working. So be done with it. But the problem here, if they end up being done with it, they're done with the show. Done with the show. Sarah, family. Shout out to the King's Guards, aka our moderators. We could not do this without them. I appreciate you all being here. Yeah, exactly. Rita says, if it's toxic, kick rocks. But we know Joe and Melissa love being on this show. but they've become less entertaining to watch. And let's be honest, Teresa's not that entertaining anymore either. We barely had Teresa in this episode. Anyone notice? Just saying. All right. What else did I want to talk about? All right, the guys. The guys have their meetup. So the guys, and look, we know this is probably the only city where the husbands are paid to be a part of the show. They get confessionals and they get their own scenes. So we have the guys hang out. Hold on, can I pull up my photo? And before Louie even arrives, Joe is talking all this trash about him. Talking all this trash. Do I agree with some of the trash that he's talking about? Yes, I agree with some of the trash he's talking about. I really do. But I just feel as if, why are you holding Louie responsible for behavior of your sister that's been the same behavior? Why are you holding Louie responsible for Teresa's decision not to have Melissa's family there? Again, to me, I don't feel like that's a fight that's worth fighting. If you really have the intention of wanting peace, Joe and Melissa, that's a battle you could just let go. You could just let it go. Like, whatever. We already know this. We're just gonna go. We want to keep the kids together, or just be real and be like, you know what? I'm done with you. I'm done with you. If that means we're not going to be on the show anymore, be done with it. No, because they want to be on the show. And again, what we were talking about before, these battles that happen, like with Jackie, it's not necessarily about their relationship. It's not about the family. It's more about the show. It's more about the show. All right. Jamie says, so Kempire, in a roundabout way, you admitted I don't need to admit anything. You realize that, right? This is a review. You admitted they ride on Teresa's coattails. If you weren't here last week, Jimmy, maybe you're new. I said they ride on each other's coattails. And the fact that Teresa has Louie and his family right now, she doesn't need them anymore. She needed them. The only reason why Teresa's still on this show, yes, she's had some iconic moments over the years, but she needed them to stay on the show as long as she's been on this show. They've needed each other. And now Teresa's ready to be done with them. She's ready to be done with them because she's like, I have my Louie. But Louie is such a cringe to watch. And even Louie's battle, his battle with Joe was so cringy. I was just like, oh my God. Like some of what he was saying at the end, I was like, yes, I agree with you, Louie. But that battle between Joe and Louie, I was just like, the toxicity here is so ridiculous. I'm so over watching. Now we have to watch Joe fight with her other husband. It's not interesting. At least with Joe Giudice, the battles between Joe Gorga and Joe Giudice were far more interesting and far more entertaining than the battles between Joe Gorga and Louie. And still, Louie does not fit in with these group of guys. I will say, though, Danielle and Rachel's husbands fit in perfectly. Rachel's husband comes in with the diapers and the Tums for the older guys. Just saying. Just saying. All right. What else did I want to talk about in regards to this, the guys' night? Like I said, I'm tired of talking about the same thing every week with Joe and Melissa and Teresa. I watch it and I'm just like, so this week we're talking about the same thing? We're talking about the same thing? Elon says Joe Gorga is unnecessary and super aggressive. As soon as he came in, but mind you, he was very fake hugging Louie when he first came in. Gene says Joe gives off potentially abusive behavior. Maybe he was also drunk too. Did you see the preview when Louie is literally telling Teresa what to talk about with her own brother? Yes, I did. Because Teresa really doesn't know what to say. And that is also a weird indication to me that Louie is really kind of manipulating the whole situation. You know what I mean? Let me say thank you. Asha, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, and who gave Joe, wait, Joe B. Oh, I was like, Joe B. Mike, no thanks. Yeah, because he chimed in. He's like, you don't do that in an Italian family. Again, people that need to just step out of the conversation, let them have their back and forth. There's no need to get involved unless you just got to separate people. Yes, we know in certain cultures, not inviting the in-laws is a little disrespectful, but you already have so many battles. Choose wisely. Choose wisely. All right. Dante says, I don't like how Joe gets to be gets to be aggressive for all these years. Why? Because he's Italian. It's okay. No, it's actually scary, and he shouldn't be allowed on TV. Well, there's a lot of people on this caster to be allowed on TV. If we were talking about aggressive behavior, that's been Jersey for a long time. Christina says, hold on. Christina says, I hope Tree has a prenup. She doesn't. She doesn't. Word on the street. Word on the street, she does not. All right. T says, she replaced Joe with Louie. Mo says, could it be Louie is giving Tree tools to handle these situations? Very possible. Very possible. But I'm over this already. I didn't realize at the top of the season that we were going to have this big Joe and Teresa situation. I thought maybe towards the end of the season. But if you're telling me that big reveal about Melissa allegedly cheating comes at the end of the season, that says we have an entire season of Joe, Melissa, and Teresa fighting. An entire season. Who cares about this? And honestly, although I do like Danielle and Rachel, I don't know if they're enough to carry this season. I don't know, but I'm open to it. I'm open to it, but I don't know. Luckily, they have a lot of people on this cast, but a lot of people without any interesting things happening. Just saying. Samara says, hashtag free Bill. That's Dr. Bell, Samara. All right. Guys, we have over 1,200 people here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter. We appreciate you taking time out of your day to be here for our recap of the Real Housewives of New Jersey. We're going to take some callers. If you are a member of the channel, I'm going to drop the call-in link for you first. Hold on one second. And we're going to do quick callers because when you have technical issues like this, I'm afraid something else might come up while we're trying to take callers. So I'm going to try and do this quickly. So let me get this. All right. Hold on. Let me go here. Hold on, y'all. All right. All right. So if you are a senior royal member of the channel, I'm going to drop the call-in link for you first. Let me move this back a little bit. Okay. Yes, y'all. Where are we with the likes? Okay, Senior Royals, I dropped the calling for you. Royal Court members, I'm going to drop the calling link for you in 2 seconds flat. Okay. Move that over there. Okay. Okay, Royal Court members, I dropped it for you. Team Kempire members, I'm going to drop it for you in just a second, guys. And if you're watching, guys, I will drop the call-in link. We have 1,200 people here and 400 and something likes. Really? So you're just sort of watching and not liking? What's that about? I'm not going to even repeat my spiel because if we don't get to at least 550 likes, I'm not dropping the call-in link for the general audience. So... But shout out to our members because you donate your time and your money to our channel on a weekly basis. So we're going to start taking callers from our members first. Again, hold on. Let me just say, all right. I said thank you for this one. Thank you, Asha, for the super chat. And shout out to all of you that support any way that you can by liking the video, by sharing the videos, by subscribing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Was there anything else that I want to say about the episode before we start taking callers? I think I've gotten everything that I wanted to say. Thank you, Chastity, for the super chat. Chastity says, I'm just saying, let Eddie on RHOP act like Joe, Andy would have commented on his behavior. Oh, we pointed out a lot of times where Andy has been, when he talks about giving a disclaimer about people's violent behavior on the show. And we're like, And mind you, for this past reunion, he didn't do that for Jersey. After we had that Teresa throwing food and things like that. I wonder if he's going to give us a disclaimer about fighting for this upcoming reunion as well. There's a clear hypocrisy going on when it comes to stuff like that. Megan, thank you so much for another super chat. Megan says, Joe, Melissa, and Teresa are the same person. I only see Teresa growing and trying. Joe and Melissa keep writing on her every season. It's hard to watch. Thank you, Megan, for the super chat. And I think a lot of the people, and even if you are Team Melissa, it's hard not to see that they're making every part of this season about their battle with Teresa. What else is going on in your life? We haven't even gotten an update on the house that no one likes now. Look, we haven't even gotten an update on that. Not that, that's a hot second update, but still. But we also have to keep in mind, producers decide what comes into the show. We don't know what Joe and Melissa have been sharing with the producers and what they've decided to show up on the show. We don't know. And we hear that all the time from reality stars. Well, I gave them this, I gave them that, but they had their own idea of what they want. So who knows what they wanted to share. But Melissa, you have that On Display podcast. You can share, well, this is what I wanted to share this season. But I think also they're contractually, they really can't talk about that. So it might be that too. But you signed up for this reality show. So like Monique said, this is why she doesn't want to do reality TV anymore, because at the end of the day, she has no control over what they want to share. All right. Okay, did I get everything? All right, let me get to some callers, guys. If you remember the channel, I've already dropped the call-in link for the members. If you are in the live chat, we have over 1,200 people, almost 1,300 people watching on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and on YouTube. I'll drop the call-in link once we get to 550 likes. 500. Okay, if we get to 500, I'll be generous today. Okay. I shouldn't be, though. Because we have 1,200 people watching. What are you watching for? Okay. All right. Let me go here. And again, reminder to the callers, no profanity, no derogatory statements, short and shady. And the opinions of the callers do not represent the opinions of myself, the Kempire LLC, or YouTube and Google. Not that I should protect YouTube and Google. They have their own lawyers. All right. In my opinions, backstage, we're going to bring her up first. What's going on, in my opinion?
Hey, Kempire, how are you doing today?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm blessed by the best. Let me tell you, I love seeing your smiling face.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. Listen here. Okay, so we've been through this saga with the Teresa, the Gorgas, the Judices. It's exhausting. And the fact that you're upset that your family didn't get invited. If Louie had invited all his sisters' husband's family, they would have like 1,000 people at their wedding. Clearly, they said it was going to be 200 people,
which is a lot.
So they can't invite everybody. And then she wanted to invite co-workers and stuff like that and stuff. I'm pretty sure he wanted to invite co-workers. I'm pretty sure there were a lot of people that they wanted to invite that they couldn't invite. I heard that Carlos King didn't even get invited and she wanted him there. But that's neither there. I feel like it's stupid.
Hold on. Rewind.
Oh, you ain't watched the podcast. You got to watch it.
Wait, so Carlos King didn't get an invite?
But Chanel,
but Chanel Ion, shout out to Chanel.
She apologized to him. She said she wished she had invited him. Yes, he didn't get an invite.
Okay. Okay, continue. I'm sorry.
Let me tell you, this was the strangest thing to me. When he was saying all this about respect, I was thinking back to the old days. Do you remember when they first came on the show?
Yes.
The christening.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember how he used to talk to his dad?
Oh yeah, it was.
It was bad. So I feel like this is his MO. Like he wants people to, and I don't know if you remember when they did that book and all the stuff he was talking about women should listen to the man and all this. Like I think he has this fascination that he's always right, and everybody has to go by what he says. And let me tell you something. All this stuff about Melissa, I cook all the time. I had dinner on the table all the time. She's been on this show for 10 years. I ain't never seen this girl cook. I don't think her get in the
She
kitchen
made a
and whip
salad
nothing
this
up.
week. She made a salad.
And she did. She was scared she was gonna poison them with the vinegar.
I was scared for them.
Here's my thing. Let me tell you something. If you're a cook, you know how to get in the kitchen and whip it up. Okay, like I'm just saying. But yeah, I'm tired of it. I feel like they wanted to be on the show. They got their 10 years on the show. Now they can leave gracefully.
Oh yeah, it's been 10 years. Oh my gosh.
Yes, because these babies grew up on this show. Like all these kids grown.
Yeah.
So it's time for you to bow out gracefully before it gets really like it's already chaotic now. But in a little while, it's gonna get really rough because now I don't think of Gia as a kid anymore. She's grown now. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But for you to get on your podcast and then bring up their kids, if Teresa do the same thing, are you gonna be upset about it? You sure are. If she got on there and talked about their kids, they would be upset. So I'm like, why would you even do that to, like, what makes you think we're grown-ups, okay? We should be better than the kids in the first place.
Yeah.
We shouldn't bring this out. Like, all this stuff that was happening on social media and the text messages and stuff, I don't think that need to come out.
Okay.
Like, you can prove you're right without being dirty. You never win when you play dirty.
I knew that was coming.
Have a good day, Kempire.
You too. Take care, in my opinion.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay. Ooh, hold on, Alice. I'm gonna bring you up next. Wait, hold on. Just a reminder to the chat. Y'all really gonna get me. Reminder to the chat. I know we got quite a few new people that are coming in. Please never in your life, look, never in your life say next caller in my chats. Because at the end of the day, I'm not moving on till I decide to move on. And our mods will delete you, mute you, do whatever. Don't do that. You can have your opinion, but always be respectful of myself and the callers. Don't try it around here. Thank you. All right, let me say thank you. We had a couple of comments that I want to highlight. Lonnie Asata says, Lonnie Love was at the wedding. Yes. I don't know. I didn't hear it for myself. When people call in, unless I hear it for myself, I'm like, okay. Casey brings up a good point. Teresa invited Rachel and Danielle, but not Melissa's family. Well, when you put it like that, Casey, when you put it like that, I mean, you got a valid point. You got a valid point. Especially when Melissa says you decided the first people that you're going to introduce to the family was my family. So now I'm sort of like, that is a valid point, Casey. I did not think about that. Yeah, she invited Rachel and Danielle, but not Melissa's family. And we already said last week, I was like, that's interesting that you're inviting these people that you just gotten to know, to your wedding, maybe in hopes that it would be filmed. Because remember, we weren't sure if she was going to get her own spinoff or anything like that. Jose and Legia, thank you so much for the super chat. They say, this is never going to get better if the Gorgas don't admit their part in the breakdown. They aren't perfect either. At least she's trying. Is she trying, though? I find that questionable. I just feel, look, here at the end of the day, I just don't think that these two will ever see eye to eye. I'm okay with them never talking to each other again or just being very cordial. But there's no way that they can even be cordial if they're on the same show. Because I think this battle is not just about family. It's about the show. But they can't say that on the show. And if they do, it's edited out. So to me, it's about the show and it's about family. It's not just about family. And it might be, the majority might be about the show. GA, thank you so much for the super chat. GA says, Joe and Teresa's relationship was always going to get worse after the parents passed. They were dysfunctional way before Louie and will be after Louie. See? Exactly. look, exactly. But I also don't need Louie in the situation, chiming in because he's not helping the situation. He's not helping it at all. All right. I'm sorry. I forgot I have callers. Allison, I'm going to bring you up. I apologize for keeping you on hold for so long. What's going on, Allison?
Hey, Hey, Kempire.
How are you?
You know what? I'm having a really terrible time.
Oh, I'm sorry.
My mom is we're anticipating her to pass shortly.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
So I really appreciate to be distracted by this nonsense. It's just fun, things to think about as opposed to huge losses.
Yeah.
I just wanted to call in. I'm sorry I'm not a good member this week. I did not catch your live right on time.
That's okay. You got a lot going on.
I just I did watch it last night, and I thought it was so funny when at the very end when all the men are talking. And please, I don't mean this in a bad way, but sometimes those guys from Jersey kind of come off like meatheads.
Oh no, I said that this morning.
Okay. And so I just thought it was really funny, like to see them all around this table and they're translating like their feelings. Like Joe says, "It's really hurting my feelings." Then the two guys go, "It's really hurting my feelings." Like I just thought that was just epic, I just really appreciated that because you see the heart and the love from those men, and that's something I really enjoy seeing is that they seem like they all have a real friendship.
Yes.
And I really liked how even though he came in hot, they were able to turn it around and kind of come through like a sort of a conversation, unlike the ladies very oftentimes.
No.
But I just wanted to say that I think it's a little bit funny how Teresa and Joe blame everyone for their relationship. Like they make it the responsibility of their partners to be the ones that resolve this or should be doing this or should be doing that, as opposed to taking the responsibility.
No.
And just coming together. And maybe it's where I'm at in my life right now, but I really believe in peace, right? I know it's reality TV. I know there has to be drama, but at least put those two people that are really in the drama together to talk about it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter about everybody else because everything's on purpose. Of course it is, right? One digs the one and then it's a never ending game. And I just wanted to say one last thing and then I'm done. I'm sorry for talking so long.
No, it's okay.
Jennifer's husband really reminded me of my family. Because I always believe that when you have someone come into your life, whether it's a friend or a partner or whatever, they should bring peace. They should not add agitation. If they add agitation, then there's something seriously wrong there. Right? So with Teresa never did any healing, never did any therapy to work through her issues, obviously, with her first husband. So it's not a surprise that she would go and pick another toxic partner. Ooh. If he is a toxic partner, I can't really say yes or no, right? Because I don't know all the details in his background. But innocent till proven guilty. But I just really believe that your partner should encourage you to find peace, even though it may not agree with your feelings in that moment. Maintaining agitation really does not get you anywhere in life. Doesn't matter, right?
Amen.
You can be as mad as anything, but where are you going? You're only going to your own demise.
Ooh.
And I'm done.
Allison, thank you so much, and blessings to you and your family.
Thank you.
Take
care.
You,
Kempire, for letting us reach out to you and for us to just express our thoughts. I'm sure oftentimes you're like, I just want a different job, or do I really have to do this? Or, I have no idea. But thank you. Thank you for giving us this platform.
Thank you, Allison. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Allison came through with a word. I agree with everything she just said. All right. Hold on. Let me just say thank you. Thank you, Obi, for the super chat. Ooh, there we go. Obi says, Paulie has low self-esteem. All is not well in the Aiden household. Louie and Gia need to exit stage left. He's a narcissist and wants the Gorgas on the outs. Tree needs to stop involving the kids. I know. It's a situation all around. It's a situation all around. Let me get to some more callers, guys. If you're just joining us, we are talking about the Real Housewives of New Jersey, episode 3 from their season 13. How are you feeling about the season so far? Replay crew, let me know how you would rate the episode, what you're thinking about the season so far. I don't know. All right. Alex, I'm going to bring you up next. Hold on. What's going on, Alex?
Hi, Kempire. Before I start talking, I wanted to thank Allison because that is such an amazing sentiment, and you don't know who needs to hear it right now.
Amen.
So thank you for sharing that with us. It's amazing. And
Yes.
I also want to say, Kempire, you are getting these commenters together. You woke up saying, I need to get these people together. And I love it.
No, I mean, Alex, I know you're probably fairly new, but every once in a while, don't come on my platform and think that I'm not going to respond. Normally, I ignore the comments, but
no, I remember after one time when I called in, the next caller started cursing like crazy, talking about Phaedra, started cursing about Phaedra.
Yeah.
Oh, you got her together. It was hilarious. I started dying laughing. I'm sorry, not at her, but at you getting her together. Anyway,
what are your thoughts on this episode?
I wanted to talk first about Danielle and Rachel. I really felt so bad for Rachel when she was talking about her miscarriage and just her crying. It just felt, you could feel her pain through the TV.
Yeah.
But I also at the same time don't want her her story for this, you don't want to keep saying storyline.
Yeah.
But her story for this season to be about a new baby. Because I feel like every newbie always, their story is about having a baby. We had it with Sonia, and there's been more before Sonia.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I don't want that for her because I really like her. And then Danielle, she seems pretty off I know she's been clamoring to get on the show for so long. But
you saw the Instagram post that they showed during the episode. She said she was really trying. She's like, all these other people can make money and millions of dollars. Like, I think I could do it.
Yeah, she's been wanting it, but she is so authentic, which I love that. And I feel like she would be a good replacement for Teresa. I know the Teresa people gonna come for me, but I think she can replace Teresa in the next couple seasons. But then I want to talk about Melissa and Teresa. It's so tired, and I don't think Teresa should have mentioned anything with Melissa in front of their kids because it gives Gia a pass to voice her opinion on somewhere where her opinion is not needed and not wanted.
Ooh.
And I think Louie's crazy, and it's scary to him. His face scares me. It kind of scares me, and it scared me when Joe was screaming about smashing his balls. I said, "Ooh, that is nasty. You do not scream that in a restaurant. I don't care. That is nasty." And then with African American Dolores, Paulie is so weird to me that he is just like being like, "You don't do a man's job" or whatever about that. Because it's like, I feel like he's trying to one up Frank and try to be like, I'm a better man than Frank is, and trying to put it in his face. I don't like Frank, but I feel like that's like not right for you to do.
Or necessary.
Even if they're your person's ex.
Or necessary.
Sorry, what?
Or necessary.
Yeah, it's unnecessary for sure. And I feel like I like Dolores more than Melissa and Teresa combined. So I just hope she finds happiness because she seems like a really good person.
Yeah, and get off our show.
That's what I wanted to say.
Look, and get off our show.
Thank you, Allison, and thank you for getting these people together.
Thanks, Alex. Take care.
Thank you. You
Bye. Too. All right. Asha, I just want to let you know it's saying devices not connected, so you might have to drop out and call back in. I'm going to bring up Bianca next. What's going on, Bianca? What are your thoughts on the Real Housewives of New Jersey?
Hi, Kempire. Good afternoon.
Hey.
So I was looking at Instagram, and I saw that Dolores and Jennifer Aiden were doing this fun, speaking out for the Turkish Syrian earthquake. And so I'm like thinking, like, obviously their fight was staged and scripted for like
or maybe they make peace by the end of the season.
That also is that's true also. But it's just kind of like, I'm thinking about it, like they kind of need to, like, they can't keep this up for longer, because like they're gonna have to show us like some like more than this petty fighting, if that makes sense, for like long term, for Dolores to stay on the show, and Jennifer, Aiden, and Bill. I mean, obviously she's trying to be on Teresa's side, but for Dolores, I think, like, I believe her relationship is real with Paulie, but like you said, it's really, I don't know, something's not right there. with and I saw he had a Twitter, not a Twitter war, like a social media war with Frank.
Oh God.
With the whole Buzz Lightyear potato head thing.
Yeah.
And that's just really weird. I don't know, but that's all I wanted to say about them is we'll just see how it goes. But I hope that they, she finds happiness with him.
Me too. Me too. Bianca, thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you, Kempire.
Take care. All right. I think that's going to be it for the callers, unless Asha calls back in. I know that sometimes with look, we had some technical difficulties, but thank God we have a camera right here. We have like 1, 2, 3, 4 cameras in the studio, but we make do. You guys heard me. You still were able to see me. I agree with Bianca. We wish Dolores well. We do. I think it might be, look, we can't get rid of everybody at once. Who do you think needs to go first? I'm going to pose that question to the replay crew and everyone in the live chat. Who do you think on the Real Housewives of New Jersey needs to go first? Let's play our game. Look, what's the game again? Is it fire? Yeah, fire, demote, keep on this cast of New Jersey. I'm going to give you some options. Look, let me give you some options, and I'm not going to include the newbies. Melissa. Look, Melissa. Teresa. Dolores. Okay. Fire, demote, keep. Fire Melissa. Look. Demote Dolores. Oh, and I guess keep Teresa. For now. Okay, let's take her out of it. We're going to play this game real quick. I know all of you got places to be. Thanks, Norma, for stopping by. I know you guys have places to be. Okay, I'm going to give you some new options. I'm going to take Teresa and Melissa out of it. I'm going to give you Jennifer Aiden. I'm going to give you Margaret. And I'm going to give you, who else is on this cast? Let me look. Okay. I'm going to give you Jennifer Aiden. I'm going to give you Dolores. I'm going to give you Margaret. For me, personally, keep Jennifer Aiden. Demote Dolores and fire Margaret. You know why? Because Margaret, I don't mind Margaret. But at this point, it's like there's nothing going on with Margaret. What is last year we finally got to know a little bit more about Margaret, but at this point I'm like, she's a pot stirrer. I'm like, And the only reason why I keep demoting Dolores is because I know she knows these people. There's real friendships. There's years of friendships. However, there's real friendships between Dolores, Margaret, and Melissa and Jackie. They're actually friends. They hang out outside the season, unlike some of these housewives, like on Potomac. So let's continue playing this game, guys, of fire, demote, keep. You guys give me some suggestions in the comment section. Thank you to everyone that sent in a super chat. Thank you to our King's Guards. We could not do this without you. Thank you for your patience. And thank you to everyone that came in that had differing opinions. We appreciate you sharing them in a lovely way. And thank you to the people that I had to get together. I don't hate you. I don't mean any harm, but that's just, I'm going to be straightforward with you. I'm a Taurus. All right, with a Leo moon and a Cancer rising. Thank you to everyone watching on TikTok. Thank you to everyone watching on Facebook, the Kempire and Kempire Daily on Facebook. Thanks to everyone watching on Twitch and Twitter. We appreciate you guys. And of course, thank you to everyone that subscribed to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. We could not do this without you. Our next live recap will be the Real Housewives of Miami. Stay tuned for that. Shout out to our members of the channel. We're probably going to do an after show for the Real Housewives of Miami for members only, meaning that you have to be a member in order to see it. All right. Oh, Wendy, you sent it a super chat? Hold on. Understand, we had technical difficulties. Let me see if I can find your super chat. Wendy. Hold on. I'm not perfect. I can't find everything. Oh, wait. I missed a couple of super chats, I think. Okay. Hold on. Wendy, I don't. Oh, here it is. I found it, Wendy. I found it. Hold on. Let me do this. Again, guys, y'all realize now when I'm hosting the show, I am the producer, I'm the host, I'm the engineer. When we have technical difficulties, I'm dealing with it all. All right. There's no one behind me besides that. Okay. So please give me some grace. Thank you. Sean Talks, thank you so much for the super chat. I don't believe I read the super chat. Sean says, has reality TV gotten to the point where the only interesting storylines have to do with crime and divorce? I pose that question to the audience. I don't think so. But I think that has to do more so with the Real Housewives and Bravo, because I still love Below Deck. I think Below Deck, we don't have that kind of drama, and that's the top show on Bravo and probably the lowest paid, according to Chef Rachel. Wendy, thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate you. She says, did you see the pic of Joe Gorga and Joe Giudice? I did. Did I? I feel like I read this super chat, Wendy, or did you miss when I read it? But yes, we did. And we talked about it yesterday during our Tuesday takeover. And at the top of this live, I said I wasn't going to address it again because I'd much rather focus on what's happening on the show than all of these side conversations happening off of the show when we do the review. We do separate videos and we do our Tuesday takeover where we talk about reality TV news and pop culture news. But we did talk about it yesterday. And we talked about how Gia chimed in and then how Melissa commented, but then he deleted and Joe commented. We talked all about that yesterday. So be sure to check that out if you haven't already. That was our Tuesday takeover. We do that every single Tuesday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern. Norma, thank you so much for the super chat. Norma says, hold on. Enjoy the rest of your day. You bring such a smile to mine, even though I don't always catch your lives. Prayers for Allison and family. Thank you, Norma. We always appreciate your support as well. I just really did not believe that Norma did not watch Jersey. I thought that would be a show that you would watch. But I don't know if I would even recommend you get into it. I only do it because our audience wants me to talk about it. It's one of those shows that's become a show that I'm like, I don't know. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. All right. Okay. Let me see. All right. Russ says the ratings are out for the Potomac reunion. Yeah, I'll talk. I have a Potomac video that I'm about to do. So I'm going to cover all the news that I want to cover in regards to the Real Housewives of Potomac in that video. So stay tuned for that, guys. I'm going to go work on that and probably go grab a snack because, I got to eat. Thank you so much for your patience in dealing with any technical issues and us covering one of your shows that you want us to cover, The Real Housewives of New Jersey. Let me know, Replay Crew, in the comment section, your thoughts on the season and how you felt about the season so far of The Real Housewives of New Jersey and this battle that's happening between Joe Gorga and Melissa. Are you over it with the Joe and the Melissa and the Teresa situation? Let's continue this conversation in the comment section. As always, be sure to like the video, be sure to subscribe, be sure to turn on your notifications, and don't forget to follow us on social media at TheKempire on all platforms. You're getting a different experience. I've been going live on Instagram. I go live on TikTok all the time, and I tweet about shows that I don't necessarily talk about or recap here. All right? So be sure to follow me there. Thank you all for being here. Thank you to our King's Guards. Thank you to our members of the channel. If you'd like to become a member of the channel, head on over to TheKempire.com/join. All right. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat before I go. All right. A lot of you saying you're over it. Ashley says, Kempire, what do you watch for pure pleasure? Right now, it's The Traitors. But technically, it's pleasure, but at the same time, I talk about it on Tuesday Takeover. But I'm enjoying The Traitors USA. I'm enjoying The Traitors the UK, which is what I'm watching right now. And I'm about to get into Australia. It's good. It's good. All right, let's get out of here with some music, guys. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you all for being here. We have over 1,000 people here. Can we get to 750 likes? Come on, liking the video is an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well, including yours. Just saying. Let's get out of here with some music. All right, what do I want to play?
gazing at the blue of night. Stars are filling up the sky. You take my hand in yours. We'll make our own constellations. I could say how much you mean to me, but it won't mean a thing. 'Cause words never sound quite right. Let's find our own kind of language. We've searched the whole world and all around it. Didn't know what we were looking for till we found it. They could say they've seen the highest mountain, bottom of the deepest sea, but no one's ever seen a love like this. They could dig up all the buried treasures where it's worth more than anything, but no one's ever seen a love like this. Walking down a crowded street, moving to our different beat. All eyes are on us now. Oh, but we don't care, do we? Oh, I can't imagine a world where anyone loves anyone like I love you. They could say they've seen the highest mountain, bottom of the deepest sea, but no one's ever seen a love like this. They could dig up all the baby treasures where it's worth more than anything, but no one's ever seen a love like Nobody ever seen it. Nobody ever seen the love. Nobody ever seen a love like this. A love like this. We have searched the whole world and all around it. Didn't know what we were looking for till we found it. They could say they've seen the highest mountain, bottom of the deepest sea, but no one's ever seen a love like this. They could dig